people who like all kinds of music. All kinds of music.
Check this out. We got a great show coming your way today.
I've learned that music is what feelings sound like. Follow me on my journey to discover new music, new styles, and new people. Welcome. This is
Real Talk, Real Music, here on the LDM radio station.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk, Real Music. And yes, I am Charles Laloma, and I have a special guest here that I had to take over the show from Evie. Evie is coming back next week with more interviews with independent artists and also music news. But today I have someone that uh, I am a big fan, I gotta admit. But again, as an owner and a host of the LDM radio, we're not allowed to vote. Um, Too bad because I would have been voting for this gentleman here. But even his Christmas song was a big hit at one of our Christmas parties. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 6, 7 hour difference, but we made it work. Let's welcome Mark Haze into the act here. How's it going, Mark?
Thanks. Yeah, it's good, Charles. What a great introduction. Thank you. I think I need to hire you, man. You gotta come and do every time I walk on stage. I need something like that. That was cool.
Hey, we aim for the best. Uh, but everything I say is from the heart and then from the truth. We did have we had a Christmas LDM Christmas event with all the workers and everything, and we played your Christmas song, and people were like, "Whoa, what's this? What's this?" And it was great.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thanks a lot.
and it was a good song. I liked it. I played it a couple of times, and that was the reason why. And for ladies and gentlemen, it's called Another Christmas. You can check that out as well. Uh, it'll stay in the icon, and I think it plays all December. So you can go to Mark Hayes' page and find it. If not, I guess you're gonna have to wait till December for another Christmas hit
To hear
of
it
his.
again.
But how's it going over there?
Yeah, man, it's a complete polar opposite to what's going on over there. With you, it's hot. It's Africa. It's always hot, but
Right, right.
yeah, we're so far away from winter now. It's not even a joke. So we don't work in Fahrenheit, but we work in degrees Celsius. So it's hitting somewhere now 37, 38 degrees
Oh,
Celsius,
okay.
which is what, like 100 and something Fahrenheit,
Yes.
something like that. So it's toasty, shall we say? And the new year is. I can't believe we hit February. It's just crazy. January was like the longest month in the world, and I thought I would get some time off from all the touring and tracking that we've been doing. I'm working on a new album, and I like to. I don't know if just a sucker for punishment, but as I got a chance to take some time off, I took 5 days. I don't know if you're anything like me. I don't need 5 days. I need 2 days. And then
Yes,
by the
yes.
time the third day comes along, I'm antsy and I'm like, okay, call the holiday off. Let's get back to work. Let's pick up the guitar. Let's get going.
Hmm.
And I'm eating those words, man. I'm back in the driver's seat, and it's going to be a busy year. But I can't believe we're already a month in. And I
Yes,
am
yes.
nowhere near where I want to be from a timeline point of view. But we're moving. That's all I can say.
No, and it's great, because I'm one of those. Even when I take vacation, I'm like, hey, I'm all hyped to take vacation. After 2 days, I'm like, I want to go back.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
think we're
got
one
I
of
got
the one
work
of the
to do.
few in the world that love our jobs. Yeah. So like,
Yes.
I don't know if everyone really understands that or gets that, but I worked for years to get to this point in my life, and yeah, everyone needs a vacation. Everyone needs to take it easy. You can't just work yourself to the bone every day. And as much as rock and roll is a thing of enjoyment, and it brings joy and that sort of thing, it'll burn you out. It'll tire you out because behind the scenes, it's not just you're not just on stage. Even the stage show will tire you out, and
Oh
you got to
yeah.
do it. You got to take some time for yourself. I got kids, young kids, so I got to make sure that I'm there for them as well. But yeah, once I'm about 2 or 3 days into that, I'm going, yeah, like, put me back. Let's get going. I'm okay. I think I just most likely need to start taking one day a week where I can actually just sleep or something like that. But yeah, time will tell. We'll
Yes.
see.
Yes. I think everyone definitely needs to rewind at least a day, just to relax
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, but again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Charles Laloma, and I'm talking to Mark Hayes here. And if you want more information on him, you can go to the link tree at Real Mark Haze, and you'll find all the information you need for him. That's the best place to go. Is always Linktree because everybody has all their social medias and everything on there. So,
Yeah.
oh, it's a good thing. But let's talk about a little bit, especially a lot of people don't, you know, indicate rock and roll in Africa. You know, you're living in Africa and you're doing some rock and roll. Amazing job as well because I'm a country and a rock fan, so
Oh yeah.
that's why they always get me to do the interviews with the rockers and the country singers.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, believe it or not, I mean, rock is pretty big here. Country is even bigger. I think it's
oh
only
wow!
getting that way. Yeah, but look, it's not the same. It's kind of obviously there's a language spoken here called Afrikaans. Um,
Right.
and for many years, a lot of the Afrikaans speaking artists and singing artists have done stuff in the style of country. So
Oh,
country
okay.
music's always been a huge thing. We just had a huge country festival take place here in 2024, and Zach Brown band came down and Kip Moore came down. It was massive, and it's one of the first festivals to take place in one of our major stadiums. It was just that many people, 50,000 people. So
Woo.
I'd say country music's pretty popular, somewhat.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're a multicultural country. You know, we call ourselves a rainbow nation for many reasons, and that being one of them. That there's a lot of tolerance and acceptance with regard to, as much as the press will tell you there isn't. There's a lot
Right.
of it out there, and a lot of cross pollination, collaborations, and sort of stuff kind of going on. So.
Oh.
As far as my PR and that sort of thing goes, and the look of me, I take on the mantle of rock and roll and the style and the look and the way I dress and my lifestyle sort of thing. But as a producer, which is another hat that I wear, I work in many genres and any different stuff. The music's good. The music's good. I don't really have a preference in terms of what I listen to anymore. When I was a kid, yeah, I was completely tied up. You know, you couldn't like tell me Ozzy's got a new album out, and I had to go and get it right away. I had to listen to it at the record store. I had to go and do those things. Now we've got streaming. We can get the stuff any day. But
Yes.
yeah, I was
Yes.
diehard. I was diehard
Yeah.
back in the day, and I think somewhere around the time we turned into a democratic society near the
Mm,
1994 95 period. We got a lot of kids in school that wouldn't have had the opportunity to be in school those days, and that brought a whole new idea of like, what do you listen to? So what do what do you eat? Where do you go? What sort of clothes do you wear? How's that work? And
mm,
and I'm very blessed to have grown up in that time, because it was a whole new country, and I don't know anything about the old country. I wasn't around during that time, so I'm lucky. I'm a new South African, shall we call it? We uh,
no, that's
we don't
great. Oh,
we don't. Yeah, we hear the tussles, we hear the rumors with stuff that the press will put out and that sort of thing. But me and the general people that I know of and the people in our music industry in this country, we don't care for that. We
mm.
push it as far away. Politics don't matter here. We make our own rules.
Well, and that's a thing I keep telling people: stop listening to what you see on Facebook or media because there's only half of the truth.
Oh
So
yeah,
especially,
it's a hype
when
game.
you,
It's always been a
oh
hype game.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
whatever they
we
can do to
spoke,
get on your backside, that's what they'll do. So you just I
especially
don't
with
listen to that.
music, especially with music. They don't like.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone from Australia, and I was like, "Wow, how music over there was so great." They don't tell you these things. And again, they were just talking about how Beyonce won the country, but they said one thing that generated with me was genre is just something that holds you in one spot. It doesn't let you grow. So
Yeah, it's a chain, man. It holds you
yeah,
down. There's no
yeah.
need to say it. I mean, I think back in the old days, I'm sound like an old man now, but I mean, back in my day, but back in the old days, like when we used to club hop, right? So you'd go from one music venue to the next. You could
Hmm.
catch like four new acts that you'd never seen before. Maybe the first one's not your scene, so you take a walk like a couple of miles down the way and go watch someone else. Come back, watch the second band at the other club, and we would do that on weekends as kids and in our early 20s, and that's how we would find stuff. And I mean, COVID really was the COVID-19, the when we had the lockdowns and that sort of thing. I think a lot of venues no one realized this, but they were kind of running month to month. And if they didn't have a good month, they could maybe struggle on for the next one, but no one really knew that. And when things
Right.
got shut down, it was almost like a nail in the coffin for a lot of the live music venues. So the scene's changed so much now, where those of us who are still on doing this professionally, we were able to hold out. Thank God for that. But and we got the chance to go play other places, like certain restaurants had like evolved their places to have a stage and allow us to do
Mm,
that. And we got a lot of wine farms here in Cape Town, where I'm from. There's a big wine valley out this end, and there's a lot of wine farms that have function venues and restaurants. And so they've modified their places to be able to do the wine tasting life in the day, and then at night kind of convert it to something a bit more high end, where we could have ourselves an actual party and play music and bring PA system in. And so it's almost like a day night type thing, where it changes from the day to the
mm,
night. And you know, back in the day when we would do that sort of thing, you'd bump into people. We would hand out flyers and say like, "Come and check out our band. We're playing here tomorrow night, etc." And then they'd ask you the question, "What are you? What do you sound like?" And then you'd have to be like, "Yeah, we're straight up rock. We're like Guns N' Roses, or we're like
yeah,
Metallica."
right.
And that's when we do it. And I think that's kind of where that phase grew. And then with the invention of the internet, and us utilizing that tool, and it is a fantastic tool. I mean, I would, in my wildest dreams, when I was a boy trying to break into the music world, like, you have dreams of being able to be played overseas. If I were to tell my
Correct.
15-year-old self now, there's a station I'm talking to in New York, he'd look at me and go, "What's wrong? That's insane. You must be world
Hmm.
famous. You know, you and John Bon Jovi got to be like good mates," sort of thing. But that's not necessarily true. But it also doesn't take away from the beauty of the fact that we now can reach an audience worldwide, where we couldn't do
Yes.
that before unless you were the top of the pop. You know,
Mm,
and I like that. I do like that. But we, you know, we're always learning, aren't we? I suppose the days of like asking what genre are you, or, you know, what do you stick to in that. I mean, I love the fact that Beyonce won the
right.
award. For us down here, it's kind of like, yeah, well, she made a country album, so she won a country award. That's as
Yep.
simple as it gets to me. Whereas others will go, yeah, but she's from the hip hop and the R&B genre, and she should stick to that. Or what is she doing playing in our field or whatever? And I'm like, hey man,
No,
music's
no.
universal. Do what you want to
It's,
do, you know.
especially with country, you got country singers that have tattoos all over their face. That's not
Oh yeah,
really a country, but I don't hear no one talking about that. But
yeah.
you know,
It didn't used to be, but it is now, and that's
right?
cool. Like, that's fine. Yeah, Post Malone loves country as well. I mean, if what
Yes,
Post Malone
yes.
likes, I'm on board with whatever he likes. He's cool.
And the thing is, you know, like us, we won't say, "Hey, it's a rock singer coming on." We'll say, "Here's a person that sung a rock song," because we don't
Yeah,
know. You know,
yeah,
we
absolutely.
it's like you said, you wear so many different hats. You know, you did sing a Christmas song. That Christmas song is not really a rock singer type of thing to do. You know, so
Nah,
and when you come to say Christmas song, a rock singer, they're gonna be like, "Oh, no, no, that doesn't make sense." So that's
yeah,
the reason why we don't say rock singer. We just sing a person singing a rock song because
yeah.
maybe
It
maybe
throws
he'll
people a
be
lot.
R and B.
I
You
get
know,
asked a lot of the time, like, so who are your favorites? Who are your influences growing up? And I, you know,
right?
I think when I in the early days, I would give the generic answer, and they were truthful answers. You know, Freddie Mercury from Queen was my hero,
Mm, okay.
and Eddie Van Halen on the guitar was something else
Oh,
for me.
big time, big time.
And then I would kind of, the longer the conversation would go, then they'd hear me kind of slip off to BB King and Eric Clapton, and
Mm,
then it would be like Chet Atkins and Les Paul, and then they'd go, who are those? Because if you at those days, if you were solely into rock, you wouldn't necessarily maybe know who Les Paul is. You might think it's just the guitar, but he was actually an artist.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then they'd go like, vocally, my real hero is Aretha Franklin, and they'd go like, but what? But you're a dude, and you know, and where's that come from? To watch the face on the person I'm speaking to get them to kind of understand that, and it's like, yeah, but you know, you can't help that. I mean, female singers, especially black female singers, were my bread and butter growing up. I loved everything about that scene. Tina Turner, I couldn't get enough of her in the
Oh
'90s. I
wow.
was like obsessed with Tina, and Michael Jackson. I mean, that's just insane. So, and yet you hear me sing now, and people will go like, "What is that? Are you, you know, are you the next John Bon Jovi? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to replace Axl and Guns? What are you trying to do? You know?"
Good.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to do what I feel, whatever's inside me. So when, like, for example, when the Christmas song came along, it was. I was honestly, I was at studio meeting with the label execs, and they said, "Look, we got a guy here. He gives us songs all the time, and he's written this thing." And I found my record exec Patrick. He said to me that the lyrics I find to be quite lovely, and the story is really cool, but the song is just not. It doesn't sit well for us, and he wants to. This guy wants to give it to someone to sing, and we can't find an artist that it's going to work with. And let me tell you now, when you hear it, it's if I could get a hold of the original copy, I don't think I can, but it's got like a real John Denver folk vibe to it, and
Ooh.
I'm not kidding. It's like dunka 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 dunka. That's kind of like how it rolled along. Um, and I took it and I asked him what are the chords for the song and that sort of thing. And I just went home and I sat behind a piano, and I just played around with it, did some stuff because I thought the lyrics are great. They're just not sitting with what I feel the music to be. And
Okay.
I kind of rewrote the passage of the music, brought it back to my engineer and my exec, and I said like, "What do you think of that style?" And they said, "Yeah, that's different. We wouldn't have expected it of you." So I said, "Yeah, but would you ever expect it of someone like Freddie Mercury or something like that?" And they said, "Yeah, but you're not Freddie Mercury." And I said, "Yeah, but he had to start somewhere as well and do what he wanted to do. George Michael did the same sort of thing. So like, no one, you don't need to pigeonhole me. Let's see where it goes. And maybe people like it, and maybe they don't, and that's cool as well. Then I'll just move on from there and then make something else." But uh, when I was singing it, I felt it. So, and that's usually their cue when they see me. They see it in my eyes, and I go, "Yeah, there's something about this. I like this. I like singing it. I like the message." And they go, "Yeah," because I write my own stuff most of the time. But when someone brings me something, and I feel an attachment to it, it starts to turn into something that I want to be involved in. And that was the
Ooh.
deal with the Christmas tune. The record guys, they'll be like, "Yeah, this is cool. You can do the Mariah Carey thing. It come out every year at Christmas time, and it'll be a fortune for us." And I'm going, "That's great, but it's not about that. I like the song and I like the meaning behind it." And that's
You
probably,
know,
and
it was great. It was a
I've
great
often felt
song.
that with any song, it doesn't really matter what the genre will be. Getting back to my original point, that as long as people get it, and if you pick up people that aren't interested in what you actually sing most of the time, that's also cool. Like, doesn't matter. The song at this moment in time is the most important thing anyway. And that's why we all got into this business
Hmm.
to create joy, I suppose. Well, that's at least why I got into it.
No, it's one of those things where I say there's a difference between a singer and an artist. You got a good voice, you can sing, okay. But if you're an artist, it
Yeah,
it comes out. Like people can feel it when they listen to your song. They it takes them somewhere. And I'm one of those
yeah,
type of people. Like if your song doesn't take me nowhere, it didn't really make an impact.
yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not gonna play it because all day we're listening to LDM radio, and I know more independent artist songs than I do the mainstream. And yes,
That's a
yesterday
good thing.
watching the
It's how it used to be, right? I mean, if it wasn't for
yeah,
guys like you, there'd be no Bohemian Rhapsody on the radio, because somebody decided,
oh
let's take a chance and do it. So, yeah, all
yes,
respect to you, man.
watching the awards, I was like, "What song is this? Oh, I didn't even know this song was out." And my wife was like, "You're so way behind." I said, "Hey, I don't listen to mainstream that much."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but when
Yeah,
I
my
listen,
kids tend to show me the stuff that's kind of I suppose what's cool now, like what's happening now. Like
right,
they'll be
right.
they'll be they'll be dancing around and singing to something, and I'll go, "What was that? That's pretty cool." And they'll go, "Yeah, that's a new Bruno Mars." And I go, "Oh, he's got a new one. Cool, let's hear that." And yeah, I think the
Hmm.
important thing is to keep an open mind because for the longest time, I think I also decided that whatever's happening on radio, I don't know if I want to be a part of it anymore because I also know the game. I know how this works. I know a lot of things are paid for. I know a lot of
Right.
artists are pushed into place. And when you reach a certain point, you're a product of whatever they're making of you. That's why a lot of artists aren't. You don't see like what you saw in the '70s. You don't see people going, "Yeah, this label and we're not working so well anymore. I'm going to go over to these guys
Hmm.
and they're going to do something better for me." And I think where I live, at least, there's still an opportunity to do that because it's still somewhat smaller. It's not the corporates have not really gotten their claws into us at this juncture. So
Right,
we
right.
have some big labels here. Universal is here and Sony's here and so is EMI and that sort of thing. The big guns are here, but they're not in the same capacity as to what they operate in for the rest of the world. So what a lot of people see as a curse, I see as a bit of a blessing because from an artistic point of view, you're still allowed to kind of move. Now, I was signed to a big label, but I've since left them, and the label I'm with now is completely. as far as size goes, small, but they're using the internet and streaming and to the best of their ability, which is
And
what
then
a lot of
pushing
people
it.
are
Yeah.
not. Yeah, they're pushing it well,
Yeah.
and I think they're doing a great. I mean, I'm sitting in little old Cape Town right now, talking to New York City. I mean, it's fine by me. You know,
Yeah.
there are worse things.
And then it's like you said, like they used to pay. They still do pay for radio stations and all that.
Yeah,
We're one of the not too many radio stations, but we're one of them that we don't really. I don't know how to say this, but we don't really care for the song as much as our name. So we play
yeah,
an ugly song on our station, it's our name that's gonna look
yeah,
bad. So we
yeah,
don't care. Like someone will be like, "Hey, oh, we'll pay you to play this," and we'll listen to it. We're like, "I'm sorry, I can't play this."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Because
it's not
public
good.
opinion matters. Yeah, it matters.
Yes,
It matters
it's
a
not
lot.
good. And
Yeah,
so they
I
hire us to do they hire us to do like DJing, sometimes karaoke, sometimes. So in between there, we let them know you can let us play your music, or like a business that just opened up, we play our music
yes,
there and give them advertising. But we tell them we're not going to play all day regular mainstream songs. We're going to play independent artist songs that we like,
cool.
and
I like that.
and we do also have this keep it or skip it. So we'll play a new artist and we'll tell the person, "Hey, what you did? What you think? You like it? Keep it or skip it."
Yeah.
And people will tell us their opinion, and we won't stop playing their music, or of course they say skip it, but it will not be played so much as the other ones.
Yeah,
So
because it matters. These are the people that are supporting the station, and they want to hear what they want to hear. Yeah, so like I totally get that. I remember a good couple of years ago, I went onto a reality TV show. You guys have it in the States as well. You guys called it Idol. We called it
mm,
SA Idols for South African Idols, and I went on that show, and throughout the show. And a lot of people might not know this, but reality TV is very much scripted and very much
yes, oh yeah,
manipulated in a certain
oh
way.
yeah,
Um,
mhm.
to the time that I went on, there were many situations where like the cameras are on you all the time. So like when you see, like they took us to this massive guitar store, and there were about 1,000 guitars on the wall, and my face, like I was like,
Oh
wow,
my
this is the
God,
coolest experience.
heaven,
So yeah, yeah. So they catch me on camera, and then 5 minutes later, they're like, "Listen, Mark, can we take that scene again?" And I'm going, "Take what again?" The look of surprise and excitement. I can't recreate that. That's what really happened. Use the take you have. And they're like, "Yeah, the angle's slightly wrong." Or whatever. I was like, "Well, sucks to be you. Sorry." I mean, that's
hmm
just, and that's where I think that's where my love hate relationship kind of developed. I mean, I did well on the show. I came second place. I got a recording contract because of it, and I have a solid career because of the show. And I'm very thankful to them and grateful to them for giving me that chance. And I'm also grateful
right,
to the audience that watched us on television. It was like 5 million viewers and that sort of thing. So it's a big deal. And I'm never going to say that was terrible for me. But what a lot of people don't know is the infighting, shall we say, that was going on the inside, where they'd come to you and they'd say, "Look, stats show this is a good song for you to sing. We think that this would be great. We'd like to do your hair this way. We'd like to dress you this way." And my answer was
right,
kind of like, "No, that's not me, man. I don't want to do that. You can make me look better than I am because I didn't have cash. So make me look cool. I'm on
hmm
a big TV show. Do that, sure, but I can't sing that song. I can't do this one. I need to be this." And I'd stay up till like 4 a.m. some nights, just writing back to people on what was Facebook then, and Instagram hadn't even showed up, but it was like Twitter, and I was just writing, physically me writing back. And a lot of the time people would say, "Is it really you?" And I say, "Yeah, of course it's me." And they're like, "Why are you awake?" And I'm like, "Because I'm talking to your ass. That's why. Like I'm awake because I want to speak to fans. I want to make new fans. I want to meet new people." And I think that's what it's the realness of it, Charles. That's like
right,
that, like when people see that this is the actual thing. So someone said to me, like, you could have had like a couple of mole fans by now if you had just decided to dance on stage or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's not me. It
it's
wouldn't
not
be authentic enough. And strangely enough, I mean, when I was going through a lot of that, when I was doing my third album, I remember conceptualizing songs for it, and sitting with some of my band members and whatever. And I remember saying we were in studio and we had to hit the bus and get a couple of, I think about 4 or 5 hours drive to get to the next town to do a show. And I was sitting and everyone was asleep except for myself and my guitarist, Jake. And I said to him, you know what I'm looking for? I'm just looking to pull a little bit of authenticity into this. I want them to hear authentic Mark Hayes. That's what I want them to hear. And I'm so tired because the first two albums there was some overflow of kind of like, what do people want to hear? And I thought about that, and I was like, maybe they
Mm,
want to hear me sing something a little higher, or maybe a little more guitar solos or stuff like that, which is all cool stuff, and I don't regret any of it. But I remember saying those words to him in the car, in the tour bus, and I said to him, if we could just make it more authentic, and he said that should be the name of your album, and I said, that's a great name. And then it's so strange when someone hits a concept at you, and it's truth and it's reality, then everything seems to flow from there. And writing the remainder of the album, it happened within a matter of days. The songs were just done, the lyrics were completed, the every lick, everything we wanted, and I co-produced that. So everything was just, I remember going to bed after the show and writing down all the studio notes that I wanted to kind of run by the engineer. And the very next week, the whole band, when we tracked the album from song A to song I don't know what it was, H, and it was like 12, 13 songs. And then the rest of it was just me in studio working through everything. And I remember our engineer saying, like, how do you have such a clear cut plan of how it's going to go? So I said, because I have the concept. I understand what it is, and I know what it is I'm trying to say, and it's only what I want to say. It's not what anyone else wants me to say, or is asking of me to say, or expects me to say. It's what I feel like actually saying, and that's it. Yeah, so I get you.
I, I
I
I
think
think
people need to be like that more.
that's what makes your music more listenable, because you can feel the originality of it, and not trying to smoke stream everything, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this is why I say, when it comes down to music, uh, you know, there's people that can, and then there's people that think they could. You know, all because you
yeah.
have a nice voice doesn't mean you're an artist. An artist brings, where, especially with music, it's audio. You know, just like right now, we're in a podcast, so you have to picture us, how we look, how we moving our bodies. So when you're listening
Mm,
to a song, I have to close my eyes, and it has to really take me to a place where I can have an imagination, um,
absolutely.
and I can feel, because even like you were saying earlier in the interview, about how we used to have to go get our records. I remember running after school to go get the Enter the Sandman when it came out,
Oh
and
yeah.
and there was a line there. So,
Oh
and I
yeah.
remember every single thing about it, because music does that. You could remember what you were dressing like, what you were doing, but
Oh yeah, man.
if it doesn't
I
have
got
an
it.
impact, it's not going to
I
do
ended
it.
up getting a job at a record store just so that I could get things first. That was the
My friend did the same thing. Where he
they
started
asked me in the
working
interview.
for.
They said, "What's your reason for being here? You trying to get up the corporate ladder? What are you trying to do?" I was like, "Actually, to be really," and told it straight, as I've always done. And I said, to be honest with you, I mean, I can get discount here, and I can at least I can get a new album when it comes out, like right away. I don't have to wait in
Hmm.
the queue anymore. And they laughed at that, and they gave me the job the next day. So
Yeah,
yeah, the truth will out, man. That's what it is. But
yeah.
you talk, we talk about it, and people. I think what a lot of people forget is that we use the word artists, but like it's like there's certain, like, take slang for example. Okay, like I say rad, and then someone's like, I think it was a kid, one of my son's friends was like, what does rad mean? And I said, well, it's short for radical. And they're like, what's radical
Hmm.
mean? I was like, radical actually means, and I was like, it doesn't mean what I'm saying it as. It's a slang word now. So it means, right now, it means that's cool. I like that. And he's like, I didn't get it. And I went, yeah, it's not like when we say sick, in the old days,
Hmm.
like, I think I heard my dad once say, oh, that's so sick. And I went like, now I'm thinking when I say that, that means it's cool. So it's like
Hmm.
stuff's changed. They call us artists, but they forget what we actually are. We are really, that's what we are. We are artists. And there are
Hmm.
different facets. You mentioned, like, the song comes out, you got to close your eyes, you got to fall into it, your own imagination takes over, art is created in that moment. Then a music video takes place, then there's more
Hmm.
visual. It might expand your mind more, it may not. It may take you to a point, well, that's not what I imagined this song to sound or look like at all. And
Right.
then there's the third aspect, which is the actual live performance of it, when you get to watch it in front of you, and that's a whole new ball game. And it's like, now you're not really imagining things anymore, you're watching the action of what it takes to play that song that way, or how I do it running at the same time, and where's the hair, and look how sweaty they are, and stuff like that. And those sort of emotions, kind of, the audience starts to feed in with you, and now you've got this amalgamated situation where the energy is just cycling between all of you, and it's that's all art. And I mean, I know artists from a painting or sculpting point of view are celebrated for their work. But that's what makes our work so unique, that there's three physical differences between one song that we can put out in that moment, and then don't even take into account that someone may cover it or make a different version of it or a remix of it or something like that, you know. So there's
Oh,
so much aspect to that. It's great.
yeah. And speaking of live, you have a lot of live coming up from February 8th all the way down to June. Um,
Yeah,
and I see
yeah,
that you do a lot of solo shows. What are one of the, because I know some people love small venues because they
yeah,
feel like it's more intimate. What is your
yeah.
thing? Do you like small ones or big ones? What you like?
I'm truly and utterly petrified of the small venues. I won't lie, and I do it, and it causes me major anxiety. People, I mean, I get asked this all the time. Like, do you still get nervous when you go on stage? Now, of course I do, you know. But it's not the
Yes.
same sort of. It's not a panic attack or anything like that. I've never. No, I didn't Jim Morrison the situation into my back to the audience or anything like that. I honestly, I suck it up and I go up there, and then I obviously end up enjoying it a song in or that sort of thing, and as the audience goes I go. The A lot of it's got to do with what happened during the lockdown, so because a lot of venues closed down, and we're
Mm,
forced to kind of try new things. Well, forced is maybe the wrong word. I forced venues to do this with us, me, several
yeah.
other artists,
Well,
whoever they could take to.
involve. You got to
Yeah, yeah.
involve all
To
around
say
the
to say,
stuff.
look, and a lot of these solo shows. So I don't know if you've got the same situation there, but you got like part time cover act sort of thing,
Right.
dudes that do it on the weekend sort of thing. And I've spoken to several different agents, and I've said to them, look, I'll go in, and if you got a slot open, I'll take the slot, and don't pay me more or anything because of my name. It doesn't matter. Like I just want to go and play, and I'll often play mostly covers, and then someone will inevitably yell out like, where's the song, where's that song, and then I'll throw it in and I'll play it. So
Mm,
I went into studio and I thought I'd make it a little bit more interesting and kind of take it up a little bit of a notch, so it's not the same as your regular old guy kind of sitting there with an acoustic guitar. And I built some additional backtracks with like drums and my own backing vocals and things like that. And I recreated songs in my own versions of them and that sort of thing. And I'll go and play them. And I can extend. I use Ableton, so I can extend a chorus if I want to. I can play a longer guitar solo if I want to. I can get the crowd kind of clapping along. So it's a new school way of looking at like kind of what the DJs do. I can make a song and create a song on the spot with some additional tracking, with a little bit of extra finger work on an iPad, but I get it going. So I used to do that for budget shows. So if someone doesn't really have the size of the venue, or maybe a private party or function or something like that, then I've got to, and they want me there. I tend to, much to the detriment of my team, I tend to not say no very often. My first answer is always like, "Would you like to play at my birthday party?" Yeah, of course I would. Where's it happening? What are we doing? Yeah, there's 50 of us, and then my team's like, "Oh, Mark, don't do it. Come on, seriously, 50 people." And then I'm like, "No, man, let's do it. It'll be like the old days." And I'm truly just still living the same the dream from what it sounds cliche, but I mean it's what I wanted to do when I was a kid, and I do get to do it. And for the longest time, I actually didn't get to. And instead of looking at what happened with the lockdown and the shutdown of so many things, because we would never have done these smaller shows before. I would have never appeared solo unless it was for like a, I don't know, like a musician's workshop or something where I'd have to kind of
right.
talk through studio techniques or guitar skills or things like that, or how I warm up for a show. You know, those sort of like typical musician workshops where we get together and we do a conference or something like that, and you get booked for those. Those are usually pretty boring, but it's cool. I like the Q&A afterwards when you get to speak to actual people that want to do what you do. And I always find that to be very honorable, because I remember being in the audience asking people that were professionals, like, how do we get to what you do, and show me the ways, and learn from that. So I'm always down to do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. However, now that we get to do this, I've slotted in. So when you see solo show next to my name, it's more just to kind of prep the audience in that neighborhood or in that town or city that I'm going to, that like,
Right.
please don't expect me to. I can't come in with the whole band. We're not going to take over the venue and build a stage and things like. Often it's
Hmm.
kind of like in the corner. But the funniest thing when you do those shows is when a kid like walks in and you see him look at you sideways and go, is it him? Is it really him? And I don't say nothing. I just carry on playing and do my thing. And it's kind of like a game to me now, where I want to see, can I do this? Can I get you dancing? Can I get you excited like I used to do when I was a nobody? and still do it, you know. And it's many times people come to me after the gig and they go like, why are you here, man? Like, what is this all about? And I'm not going to say any names, but there are a few high profile artists that came to me when I decided to do this and said, what the hell are you doing, man? Sit it out, wait it out. Let's let this pandemic end, and then we'll start again strong, and we'll play big shows again. We'll do whatever. And I said, yeah, that's a good way to watch our industry die.
Yeah,
And I don't
you
feel
know,
like I can be a part of that. I think I need to do something, whether it's little in my own small way, just something to make this not die out. You know, I know I
hmm
don't have all the control, but I wanted to help in some way. And it's not like it doesn't pay off. Because of this, and because of there's no backstage, there's no nothing. You're not hiding away from anyone. You're packing up your gear in front of everybody. People are
everybody.
drunk and partying, and you're done. And the DJ's taken over, and now you're packing up just like the old days. And it's humbling, man. And but people will come up to you and they'll be like, dude, can we get your agent's number? Would you do this show? Would you come to our function and play? You know, it's 100 people or whatever. And I go, of course I will. You talk to them about it, you tell them I spoke to them, and let's get it done. And there must be about at least 100 shows that aren't on the list that you're seeing on my socials. That we don't
hmm
advertise because they're privates, you know, and we do it. I do it. I've got no problem doing it.
I
I
would
like it.
say, that one person knows someone that knows someone. So even if you have 10 people, those 10 people might know someone that knows someone. So
Absolutely.
if you lose the opportunity to perform, it's going to be hard. We did when the pandemic was on. A lot of the artists was like, "Oh, thank you for having the radio station," but I'm like, we have to do more. So I did the online concert, and I told a bunch of artists around the world to go to your room and do a little concert like you're singing to someone. Send me the video, and we're gonna
Amazing.
play it. And we played it that many people thought they were all inside the studio
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
came out live and I said, "Hey, we're gonna have this person, and like welcome Mark Haze, and he will have you will have your video come out."
Yeah.
And it was so amazing that people was like, "Wow, let's do it again." And we did it
Yeah.
in the studio,
Yeah.
which our studio only holds about 25, 30 people sitting down. But it was the impact of the live video that helped a
Mm.
lot of the artists. Where I tell them, you sing like you're singing in a big concert, like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a whole beach full of people. The same way you sing to two people, you sing to thousands of people. That energy makes a person want to go see your page or even go see you live. Um,
Absolutely.
because they seen you on the video. So
Yep.
again,
It's the
ladies and
same
gentlemen,
attitude I
this
take to the pubs when I go into these small restaurants or tiny bars or that sort of thing. And I still sing the same way, still
oh
perform the
yeah.
same way. I have the shirt soak through and the guitar needs a wipe down and you know it's still the same thing. And
hmm
then you know then people will be like, "But I'm actually got tickets to come to your concert next week," and you know that's what, and I say, "Come." It's the same me, but you know it's going to be louder and there's going to be more lights and it's going to be smoke and it's going to be crazy and someone's going to be throwing plectrums into the crowd and things like that. So like it's going to be and it's true, you know. Then the same person will come to you. You remember me? I saw you at this place last week, and I go, "Of course I remember you, man. Like, yeah, like thanks for coming to this show." And it just keeps on
hmm
spiraling. We did the live stream thing as well as much as possible over here. We had a radio station or two that was keen to do what like same thing you guys did, and
hmm
it's absolutely true. And I'm lucky that I had that experience. So when I was on the television show on Idol, then obviously you're performing in front of a crowd of like 3,000 odd people in the night on the
Right.
live show. But they tell you, we could see the subscriber list coming up. The television broadcasting unit is there, and you can see the numbers like logging in to watch it online, to watch it on the television, and that sort of thing. And you're watching the numbers climb from zero to next thing you know, it's 3 mil, then it's like 4 million, and you're going, wow, okay. So it elevates your show. It really does. And I had that in my mind already where it's like, cool, I'm not in my room anymore. I close my eyes. I'm at Wembley Stadium right now and I'm doing it. And that's true of any stage I get onto. And I think that has always been my gift, my secret weapon, you know, where I can, I don't, doesn't matter if there's 10 people there or 10,000, I'll give the same show.
Yeah, we're running out of time here. We got about like 2 minutes left. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking to Mark Hayes. Check him out, Real Mark Hayes on Instagram, and on X, and on Twitter,
Yeah.
and
Facebook.
Facebook is Real Mark Hayes too, right?
Yeah. Everything's Real
Yep.
Marquez. That's how you
Okay,
find me.
real. See,
TikTok.
and
I'm on
that's what I
TikTok now
like.
too.
That's what I like. I like when artists have everything the same. You know,
Yeah,
just
it's
like
easier.
LDM radio. We just tell them everywhere LDM radio. Because I know some people will be like, "Oh, on Instagram is Real Mark Hayes #1357, and on Twitter is Hayes Mark." I'm like, "What?" Like,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no. But
Yeah, we went the
check them
distance to
out.
try and get that right because I hate doing that myself. So I made sure when everything was loaded, I was like, find a name that everyone's going to see, remember, and find everywhere.
Yes,
But yeah, listen, man. I wanted to
and
say before we get off the line, I want to say to you, your team, as well as the listeners, those who listen in and then stream my stuff and check me out. And I've gotten various comments on my pages from viewers and listeners listening to my stuff on your station, and I want to say thank you very much. You're doing good work, and just on behalf of all the other musicians that you do this for, like it means everything. It's the real thing for us.
mm,
There's people think the dream is to be a huge superstar and play the Super Bowl, and while that is cool and amazing, this is really what the groundwork and the daily life is like, and that's always been the goal for me. And I wanted to say it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to you and everyone else listening.
right. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love, like I said, I love music. I love what it does. I use music for therapy when I teach kids and things like that.
Oh yeah,
Uh, so and then try to tell people independent artists are what you listening to in mainstream. They were independent artists first. So,
that's right.
remember that. And that's why we play so many songs because we like, wait, we love these guys. Like their
Yeah.
songs need to get out there. But check them out again. If you got Linktree, go to Linktree at markhaze.com. I'm sorry. His Linktree is real Mark Hayes. His email is info@markhaze.com. Um, so you can go and again, he is available for hire, um, as well as meet and greet, because we need more meet and greets with the artists as well. So, and these are to all the venue people that are listening. When you ask for an artist to go to your place and perform, give them about another 10, 20 minutes to have a table out there to meet and greet some fans,
Oh,
instead of
absolutely.
just
Yeah, I love doing that.
packing up and just leaving, because
Yeah. Yeah.
we love to talk to the artists as well. So give
Oh
them
yeah,
that.
my crew hates that I love that so much because we're supposed, when you get a clock and you're supposed to leave the venue at a certain time, we've got to be on the road by a certain time. They've always got
Right.
to add an extra hour onto that because I will not shut up. I'll just sit and talk, sign things, and yeah, give it away all day. So yeah, feel
Hey,
free, come and speak. I'm cool with that.
yeah, the fans love that when they be like, "Hey, I met Mark. I met here's a picture." So they love things like
Yeah.
that. So, uh, Mark, just keep it up. I'm waiting for more music to come along. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Mark Hayes. He is going to be doing live performances if you're in those areas from February 8th all the way down to June 28th. So check out his page. He has them all there. Tributes to Bon Jovi, Queen. He's going to be doing solos. So it's an amazing. Uh, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I seen something about One Direction as well. Uh,
Yeah, I lost a
when I
bet.
was
It's no joke. I lost a bet to that one. I helped a friend out, and he said, well, he helped me out, and he said, listen, you owe me big time. No matter what I ask, you got to do. And I said, sure, 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 whatever you say, and I moved on. And then I got the call saying I need a singer for this One Direction project. I said, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm your guy. And he said, you promised, dude. So I was like, all right, I'm in. I'll have to do that. But like I said, it's true to my word, man. I love music, and if the songs are good and the songs are good, then I'm gonna do it. Listen, Charles, I got a new album coming out this year very soon. I'll make sure that you guys get a copy of it.
yes, yes.
Probably one of the first in the world to get it. And yeah, please play it and let me know. Let's do this again.
Yes, yes. Definitely when it comes out, we'll sit and chat a little bit more. I'll definitely be listening to it, give my opinion on it. But so far, what I've been hearing from you has been great. Like I tell you, the Christmas song was a hit in our Christmas events. Your songs were a pretty good hit, especially oh God, wait. Don't say goodbye.
Oh
I
yeah,
was gonna
that's
come to
that's the
me.
lead off single. Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
I should have probably
I was
spoken
like.
about.
I was like, say goodbye. Go. I was trying to remember it. Don't say goodbye. That was a good song. Um,
Thank you.
I played that a whole lot. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I go, because I'm in the studio from 9 o'clock in the morning sometimes, or at home like I am right now, playing
Yeah.
sometimes because if the next show is not there, I don't like to be alone. So right now I'm tapped into the studio. So what I do is I tap in and I listen to that song. But before I get on the air, there's certain songs I listen to, and that
Oh,
one is
cool.
one of them that I listen to before I get on the air to get myself comfortable and
Ah.
then start doing what I do.
Oh,
But
that makes
again,
me
ladies
feel
and
great, dude.
gentlemen,
Thank you.
uh, guys, listen to that. Matter of fact, I will be playing the Christmas song and that right after this interview, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Uh, and people that are my fans, they know if I don't like a song, I'm gonna let you know I don't like a song. you know, but if I do, I am gonna go out to the limit and expose this song and say, hey, how great it is. Um, you know, we matter of fact, a quick story because we got 1 minute. I was playing your song in the restaurant, and someone thought it was a mainstream artist, and I was singing it. It was karaoke time, so I'm singing it in the background, testing the mics out. uh, and people were like, "Wait, who's that? That's you singing or someone else singing?" I said, "No, no, that's a guy named Mark Haze from the LDM Radio. Check him out." And then I gave some of the information, and that person was like, "Wow, you got to play that again. Is it on karaoke?" I was like, "No, I was just testing the mics." I was like, "It's not karaoke yet."
We're gonna have to get you a karaoke version of that for
Right,
for the next
I was
night. Yeah.
like, but it's things like that where I say, okay, now we know when we play a song somewhere in a restaurant or something, someone is going to listen, even if that
Yeah.
one person listens.
Absolutely.
Because we
Yeah.
we do karaoke a lot for companies, and we always get these people coming up. Can you tell me who's this singing, or can I tap some tap
Shazam.
voice, something like that, where it takes the audio and then it tells them who's singing and things like that. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and this is the reason why I tell people to when they sending out songs, they have to fill out our survey because we put that in the background. So when people actually hear it, it'll pop up with their name, their information, and all that stuff. So,
Amazing.
um,
Mm.
make sure that's being done. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Hayes. We can go on. This gentleman is so great. We can keep talking about music. Uh,
If you let us, we'll talk all day. Yeah.
I'm telling you, right? They'd be like, "How Charles? This is only an hour." But again, check out his live shows. Mark Hayes, real Mark Hayes on everything, and check him out on markhayes.com as well. And check out his new album that's going to be coming out soon. I'm Charles Laloma, and this is Real Talk, Real Music on the LDM Radio. Hey, Mark, again, thank you, and have a great day.
Thanks,
Oh,
Charles. What
well,
a pleasure.
evening over there, right? You're in the
Yes,
evening
evening.
over
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah. You have a good day. I'll have a good evening.
yes. All right, take care.
You too, man. Thank you. See ya.
Here is a song from the guest you just listened to, and remember to come back next week for some more Real Talk, Real Music on the LDM radio station.
The best radio station in the world. Is right here, right now.
New York City's LDM Radio.
Another Christmas, another year, but it's not Christmas when you're not here. So move a mountain, come like the morning rain, and let's have Christmas together again. I know I hurt you and I'm sorry, but I just can't be everything you want me to be. So please forgive me and don't worry, because the season of peace is here. Another Christmas, another year, but it's not Christmas when you're not here. So move a mountain, come like the morning rain, and let's have Christmas together again. Look at the baby in the manger, and hear the angels singing praises to God. The shepherds come in fear and trembling, the wise men bring their frankincense, myrrh and gold. I'm always learning from your spirit, slowly becoming what you want me to be. But how can I get on without you, now that the season of peace is here? Another Christmas, another year, but it's not Christmas when you're not here. So move a mountain, come like the morning rain, and let's have Christmas together again. Another Christmas, another year, but it's not Christmas when you're not here. So move a mountain, come like the morning rain, and let's have Christmas together again. Let's have Christmas together again, and let's have Christmas together again, and let's have Christmas together again.